Hello everyone, Stormy Strike here. BreyerFest 2019 has officially come to a close. I've finally gotten home from BreyerFest, which means I'll be getting into all of the fun post-BreyerFest videos, which will be recapping my BreyerFest experience, haul, and more. But first, I want to talk about what we have to look forward to next year, which is BreyerFest 2020. The hype for next year's BreyerFest started on the day this year's ended, on July 14th. Breyer announced the theme and dates for the next BreyerFest, which is BreyerFest Celtic Fling, with the dates of July 10th, 11th, and 12th. So it's just about the same time as this year's BreyerFest, being the second weekend in July. Now we're already all wondering what the models for this BreyerFest will be, what it will have in store, and all of those fun things. But we likely won't be getting any more info on BreyerFest 2020 until the end of this year or beginning of next year, usually around December or January. Even though we won't know any details for BreyerFest for a while, it can still be fun to speculate what kind of models they may have next year. Before I get into that, I've noticed that a lot of people might not really understand what Celtic means for this theme. So I'm going to give a definition and examples so you can get a better idea of what the 2020 theme means. The definition of Celtic is relating to the Celts or their language, which consists of a branch of Indo-European family, including Irish, Scottish, Gaelic, Welsh, Breton, Manx, Cornish, and several extinct pre-Roman languages such as Gaulish. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced anything in there. Usually when people hear the word Celtic, the first things they may think of are Scotland and Ireland, or even medieval times, but it can include a lot more than just that. There's a lot of history and culture for the Celtic region, which I plan to do a lot more research into for BreyerFest down the line. In the ways of horse breeds, there are several breeds famous for these Celtic regions, such as the Welsh pony from Wales, the Clydesdale, Highland pony, and Shetland pony from Scotland, the Connemara pony, Gypsy horse, Irish Draft, and Irish Sport horse from Ireland. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of those breeds at BreyerFest as either real-life horses brought to the event and/or models. Speaking of models, let's dive into some speculation, predictions, guesses, whatever you want to call it, for what types of models we might see at BreyerFest next year. Remember, these are all just my own guesses, none of these are confirmed molds or models, and we won't be finding out more about the BreyerFest models until probably December of this year or January of next year. First off, what might the celebration horse be? Again, we won't know yet for a while, and the celebration horse is going to be a portrait model after a real horse, so who knows what it could be. But maybe it could be a new Clydesdale on the Othello mold, or a pony celebration model on the Connemara mold, or maybe it's an Irish sport horse on the Idicus mold. Or it could not be any of the breeds originating from Celtic regions and actually be a portrait of a horse that performs at Celtic fairs. There's really no telling, but I'm very excited about it. Then we have the special runs, which never fully represent the breeds of the theme, so sure, there may be a Clydesdale or pony in there, but we'll also probably see other breeds and molds not associated with the region, and we'll probably get some special runs of newer molds, maybe like Bristol or Hamilton or the Cantering Warmblood. I'm sure we will see the Hamilton mold somewhere at BreyerFest. If not a special run, he'll probably be a raffle model. I'm also guessing that they will have the new 2019 pony molds, Rihanna and Cadell. I'm really sorry, I don't know how to pronounce their names correctly. But I expect them to be special runs next year, because in 2018 they had the Julep and Pin Mare and Foal set. They usually have like a Mare and Foal special run set like every other year. So I wouldn't be surprised if that pair became special runs next year in 2020. I'm curious what the special run names will be. They'll obviously have something to do with the theme, but there's no telling what. Maybe there'll be Irish or Scottish words and sayings, or maybe there'll be names of other Celtic regions or characters of Celtic mythology. This year, Breyer obviously took inspiration from primarily Marvel characters to name the special runs, and before that they took different kind of racing terms and names for the special runs in 2018. so I'm curious to see what names the special runs will have in 2020. There's a lot of possibilities for what could be done for the Decorator special run. A model with Celtic knots or Irish clovers, perhaps. And then there's the non-equine special run. Will we see a deer or maybe a ram? Or maybe we'll see another dog model or a cat. Then there's of course the store specials. Who knows what guest horses they'll have that will be turned into store specials next year. And models for the pop-up shop. Maybe we'll get a really cute Decorator stablemate that goes with the theme. Whatever may be in store for models next year, I'm sure they'll have some really fun things for us to look forward to. Lastly, there is one thing about BreyerFest 2020 that was discovered outside of Breyer's website, which is that a Celtic band called the American Rogues will be playing at BreyerFest, according to their website. I listened to a bit of their music and it sounds really cool, and it seems like they will be a fun addition to BreyerFest next year. Before we end this video, I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. What are your guesses and speculations for what models we'll see at BreyerFest next year? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for the latest news on BreyerFest 2020 and for my post-BreyerFest 2019 videos, which will start coming out soon after this one. I hope you have an awesome day and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone!